Welcome to Podnutz Daily for February 2nd, 2009, episode number 141. I want to remind everybody about the new Podnutz Daily schedule. There's only going to be shows Monday and Wednesday, if you haven't heard that yet. I just want to announce it again for maybe people who are listening to the audio show and wondering why it's not coming out every day. I'm going to do Monday and Wednesday for a while, see how that goes. So far, I like it. Frees me up a little bit more and allows me to make, Monday and Wednesday, 2 days a week. The shows will be longer. It'll be a little more thorough on each thing, and I think it's going to work out pretty good. First thing I want to talk about is it's on the top of the list, but I don't really feel like talking about it, but I'm going to anyway, just because it's on the top of the list. We have this customer, and it's a woman, and she is just nuts. She's crazy. She plays the victim. She has trouble walking around. She wants everyone to feel sorry for her. And she's just a little batty. These kind of customers, I'm not talking about physical handicap in any way. I'm talking about her attitude and her sanity. I think having crazy, if you're in the computer repair business, maybe you have your own business or whatever, having a crazy person in your area, on your lines, is what I like to say, having them on your lines, meaning like you have to do a job for them or, you're involved in your business in any way, is just a bad idea. I would rather her go, not to get ripped off, but I'd rather her go to somebody else, even the Geek Squad, but not be in my shop, because you're going to find that you have enough crazies on your lines, then the same people will stop coming in. It just happens kind of like magic, trust me. When I say crazy, she's the kind of person that will come in, sit down, and talk to you and just keep asking you 100 questions. And no matter what you say to her, she'll not register that and continue on a different path or on the same path, but just kind of in an annoying way. This, I'm not talking about sane people. Sane people have questions, and you answer their questions, and they're okay. I'm talking about people who like to just waste your time and want things for free and want you to feel sorry for them and generally bring your happiness down. Because if they're going to bring your happiness down and your tone down, they're going to bring down people around them and around you, and you're going to start to see all the sane people go off of your line. So I am not one to say, okay, she's a customer, I need this, she's paying like everybody else. I'm looking out for like the sanity of my business in this case, and sometimes I believe that if you think somebody's going to be more trouble than they're worth, then you can refuse them as a customer or send them off somewhere else. You know what I mean? And it's okay to not have crazy people. It's okay to not do work for crazy people, I guess is the moral of the story, in my opinion, through experience. Okay, so enough about that. Plus, she has a crazy computer. Oh, this is another thing, by the way. Most of the time, you could tell the general mental state of a customer by the state of their computer. Just check it out every once in a while. And if you have a person who seems very normal and sane, but their computer's a mess, they probably have a crazy kid or something like that who's using the computer. You will always see that you could judge the state of a person by the state of their computer. It's very interesting. Just a fun, not fact, it's a fun observation, I guess you could say. Noisy fan on a Dell desktop. This is a Dell Dimension, one of those big, clunky ones that open up like a suitcase and are really heavy and really tall, and I wish they never would make this model. It is this one had a noisy fan. Now the thing is with these fans is the fans on these are actually case fans, but they're also CPU fans. They have a little green thing over the fan that points the fan towards the processor and the heatsink. So even though the fan's mounted on the case, it's actually the CPU fan. Well, these fans get mounted into a plastic piece, and most of the time they're supported by rubber. They have rubber feet, and that kind of makes them quiet. But if for whatever reason you have to replace one, you don't have the rubber feet. Or if you have a noisy fan in general, it's just vibrating in a way that's against a piece of plastic or against the case, and it's making a lot of noise, and it shouldn't. Hot glue, I found this last week. Hot glue, if you put hot glue in between some seams that seem to be causing vibration, hot glue is a very good silencer of fans and that kind of thing. I mean, I was trying foam, I was trying this and all, but if you have a little hot glue gun, put a couple dabs of hot glue in places where you think there's the vibrations occurring, and maybe you can get rid of the noise that way. I just found that hot glue is a good silencer of vibrating parts. Another cool little thing to have around is every time you buy a motherboard, brand new motherboard, they come in their little square box, and in that box they're in a static bag. The motherboard's a static bag, and usually under the bag or in the bag, the motherboard is on a piece of foam, like a thin piece of square foam. That foam, we collect them now because they are great for when you're doing a laptop repair. Put that piece of foam on your bench and put the laptop on top of that instead of having your laptop on your bench, and when you spin the laptop, it scrapes the heck out of the case of the laptop. If you put the laptop on top of the foam, it makes a very nice separator between your bench and the laptop, and it allows it not to get scratched up. Just one of those things that I noticed we were doing at the shop and figured I'd talk about. Okay, I also want to talk about Craigslist. Craigslist is, I look at Craigslist almost every day. I like to sell a lot of my things on Craigslist, and I like to buy things on Craigslist. And in my opinion, the scammers on Craigslist are getting better at scamming. There's also so many more scams, and it's getting worse in my opinion. But even to the point where I'm fooled, and I think I'm pretty good at Craigslist, I'm at the point now where I don't know if a listing is for real or not for real, and I actually just use a Gmail account to answer the listing in case it is fake, and then they could spam the heck out of my Gmail account because, number one, Gmail has a good filter, and number two, it's not my primary email address, so I don't have to worry about it. But Craigslist is getting good. I'm going to revise the book I wrote about Craigslist to include some of the new things I'm spotting as far as scammers on Craigslist. It used to be easy because they're listed. A couple general tips here. If you're looking at Craigslist and you see a listing or a posting that's very unspecific, has no pictures, and doesn't really have a phone number or any way of contacting, it looks like it's just a general spammy posting, it's easy to tell. Like maybe the grammar's real bad as well. It used to be easy to tell. Now it looks like scammers are taking other people's real postings, putting them up as their postings, so you can't really tell, and with pictures included, can't really tell if it's real or not. So be careful on Craigslist. Like I said before, Craigslist is a jungle. It's a great place to buy and sell things. It's also the flakiest place on earth. You could have somebody on Craigslist when you're trying to sell something contact you and say, "Oh, I'll be over and buy that in 1 hour." You have their phone number and everything, and then you never hear from the person again. You will find the flakiest people you will ever meet on the planet when you're buying and selling on Craigslist. But Craigslist also has gems.